Can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear or not? Yes. Yeah. So in the discussion, what we had, right, in the demo session. So reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. So why Python is suddenly super popular means very less coding we are observing. Not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming languages. Okay, very less coding we are observing. Simple and easy syntaxes. Simple and the syntaxes of Python looks like normal English statements, right? Multi-programming features, right? Multi-programming features. Interactive mode, wide varieties of applications, many built-in libraries. Everyone, you are saying that, okay, if you have got problem with that video, right? Even they have given you that YouTube videos link, right? Video in the YouTube also it is uploaded. The first 4, 5 videos, right, will be uploaded in the YouTube. Even you are given that YouTube video link also, right? You can just go to the YouTube also, like Python by. You can just say Python by. You can say this. You can see this in YouTube also. After first 5 or 6, 4, 5 videos you can see in YouTube, but thereafter Google Drive link will be provided. Okay, for those who have enrolled, those who have got registered, right? Google Drive link will be provided. Okay, fine. Very less coding, simple and easy syntaxes, multi-programming features, interactive mode, multi-programming. I said hybrid features we see in Python. And interactive mode, you can easily interact with Python statement by statement. I was discussing using Python, we can develop different types of applications like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, graphic applications, desktop applications, gaming applications, embedded applications, single user like that. Okay, wide varieties of applications can be developed, right? And many built-in libraries. Yesterday I was just showing you some examples, right? Many built-in functions and many built-in libraries, many built-in modules. 89,300 inbuilt models, what we see, right? Okay, for Python. So these are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. We won't see the concept of models in other programmings. We won't see the interactive mode in other programming languages. Hybrid features or multi-programming features you won't see, right? Simple syntaxes, right? Like they look like normal English statements, right? Yesterday I was just showing you some examples. Very less coding, not even 1/4 coding, right? Okay, fine. So today just I'll be going with the basics of Python. One second. So we need to know, before I go with Python installations, Python versions and Python execution modes, you need to know something about this Python software foundation, PSF, right? We need to know something about this PSF, Python software foundation, right? Yes. It is a non-profit organization. I'm sorry, it is a non-profit organization, right? Yes. Devoted towards Python community, right? Devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year, PSF was launched in the year 2001, right? Almost like a 20 or 21 years ago, it was launched. And the main objective of this PSF, main objective is, okay, objective of it, version to version, to faster the development of Python, right? To faster the development of Python. Okay. In the year 2004, in the year 2000, 2004, right? PSF received Computer World Horizon Award, Computer World Horizon Award, right? For the cutting edge technology, right? And the president, who is the president for this? President is nothing but the personality who developed Python and who introduced Python. The same person is the president for this PSF, Guido van Rossum, the personality who developed Python. Guido van Rossum. Okay. Headquarters, Delaware, United States. USA, right? Yes. So this is something about Python Software Foundation. It was, okay, official website. Even you can select official website, right? Official website. Python.org, right? Yes, python.org is the official website from where we can download this Python and from where we can see the documentation for each and every Python release. For each and every Python release, we can see the documentation here, right? Okay. Okay. Now just answer. Python versions. We discuss about Python versions before we go with Python installation. Python version, right? Python 1.x version, right? 1.x, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. The first one version released in the year 1990, right? Python 2.x version, 2.x. It was released in the year 2000, right? In the year 2000, 2.x version, right? And Python 3.x version, right? Python 3.x version. It was released in the year 2008. The version that we are using currently, is 3 version, 2008. 3 version. The first 3 version was released in the year 2008. Latest version of Python, latest version, right? Latest version of Python. Python 3.10, Python 3.10. Stable version of Python, stable version of Python, right? Yes. stable version of Python, like Python 3.7, right? Python 3.7. Stable version, nothing but mostly used version, right? Mostly used. Okay. Previous stable version. Previous stable version is Python 2.7 is the mostly used version, right? Python 2.7 is the mostly used one. So there are some occasions where we will be going with the older versions if you are using with older softwares, right? Like if you are using the database like Oracle 10G. Oracle 10G only supports Python 2 version. 3 version from Python 11 onwards. Sorry, from Oracle 11 onwards, right? 3 version is supported. But if you are using Oracle 10G, you need to go with Python 2 version, right? Yes, to connect with that database. Okay, now Python installation, right? Python installations. Python installation. Okay. So before I install, right? Before I install, let me just uninstall this. Okay. So just I'll show you the step-by-step process, how to download and how to install Python. Okay, before we go with the execution modes, right? So applications. So multiple versions of Python can be installed in your systems, right? Python 3.10, Python 3.10, just right. Uninstall. Uninstall, right? 3.10. We are uninstalling this version. It will take some. So Python is providing different softwares for different environments. It's providing different softwares for different environments. For Windows, separate software. For Linux, separate software. For Mac OS, separate software. It provides again for Windows. For Windows 32-bit separate software. For Windows 64-bit separate software, it is going to provide, right? Yes. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit Windows or 64-bit Windows, right? How will you check whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit? Okay. So let the installation go. I'll minimize this. Let us just go with this desktop. Just open your desktop, right? So on your desktop, right click your PC or computer. Go to your properties. PC or computer, you can right click and say properties, right? What it is saying clearly, right? Clearly it is saying 64-bit operating system. 64-bit, it's a 64-bit operating. If it is a 32-bit one, right? We are supposed to select the 32-bit Python software and install the 32-bit, right? Yes. So now, okay, let uninstallation is completed. Uninstallation was successful, right? Yes. Now, just what is the official website of Python? Go to the official website of Python, python.org. Just I'm opening this browser, right? What is the official website? Python.org. Python.org, the official website of Python, where we can see this documentation for every Python release. So python.org is the official website. Where can you see here PSF? So here Python Software Foundation, docs, jobs, and community, right? Yes, Python community. So PSF, Python Software Foundation, Python. So you can see the downloads option here. Downloads. Click this downloads. Go for all releases. Go for all releases, right? Yes. Go for all releases and just scroll down. Scroll down. Active Python releases. Don't go for active Python releases. Just go for looking for a specific release. What is it? Looking for a specific release, right? Yes. looking for a specific release. So we can see all the Python versions. We can see all the Python versions from the last 20 years, right? From the last 20 years. 3.9, 3.10, 3.10. You can see all the versions here. All the versions, all the versions. All the versions from the last 20 years, right? Python, see the last one, Python 2.0.1, right? Python 2.0.1, June 22, 2001, June 22, 2001, right? Okay. But select the version that you want to install, right? Python 3.10.2, January 14, 2022. Almost like 40 days ago it was released, right? 40 days back it was released. Select it, click this 3.10.2, click it, and you can see this Python 3.10.2 here, right? Yes. Just scroll down, you will see files. If you come down, if you come down, right? Files. You can see the files, right? For Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux, for Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit, right? Windows 32-bit, select 32-bit, Windows 64, you can select, right? It just hardly takes 2 minutes for downloading and installing of this Python. So just to click this Windows installer, your download started. Just 26.9 MB, 27 MB of size, right? 27 MB of size. Okay, your download is almost done, right? So here, along with this Python software, right, we are not going to get all the modules. We won't be getting all the modules, right? All the 89,300 inbuilt modules. If all the modules are included within this Python software size won't be like 27 MB. It will be like in GBs of size, right? So only commonly used Python modules we see within this, but later the models related to different domains like data science models, database models, big data models, remaining all the other external modules, right? We are supposed to download and install. I'll later demonstrate about those things, right? Yes. Okay. So can you see here Python 3.10, it's already. So the external modules which are not part of Python software, we will be downloading and installing, right? Using a component called pip. We are going to download and install by using a component called pip, pip. Using pip, we are going to download and install, yes, any module which is not part of Python software, right? Yes. Okay. So your download is completed. Just go to the downloads folder and click that exe file. I'll just click this file, right? Okay. You will see this window, right? Install Python. Don't immediately go for installation. Don't immediately go for the installation. Just at the bottom, you can see add Python 3.10 to path. Add Python 3.10 to path. Select it. Add Python 3.10 to path and go for customize installation. By default, it is installing documentation, pip, ideally Python test suite. Okay, these things. No need to select anything here. Just say next. So by default, here also nothing to select in advanced options, but installation location, where you want to install this. So here by default, it is getting installed in users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python 3.10. Okay. But I doesn't want tomorrow. If you want to locate Python, right, we need to enter all this path, right? We need to enter all this big path. We need to enter this very big path, right? Okay. Otherwise, tomorrow, if you want to install any module which is not part of Python software, we need to enter this big path. It's somewhere in some subdirectories Python is getting installed. So remove all this path, right? Yes. Remove all this path. Python 3.10, just install Python, right? Within the C drive, that's it. Just install Python within the C drive. Just say install. Okay, it just hardly takes 1 minute for installing it. Later, once it gets installed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not, right? Yes. Okay. Setup was successful. Yes, close it. Now, how will you check whether it is successfully installed or not? So at the bottom, can you see this search panel? Is there a search option? Just type CMD. Yes, just type CMD and say enter, right? Just type CMD and press enter. You will get this command. Just type Python here. That's it. Whenever you say Python, if you press enter, right? Yes. The Python version to be displayed, that what we have installed, and the interpreter should be open, right? Enter. Python version it is displaying, right? 3.10.2, and that interpreter 3 arrow symbol. Here you can type any valid Python statements. X equal to Ajay. Y, sorry. X equal to Ajay. Y equal to Kumar. Okay, what is X value? Ajay. What is Y value? Kumar. What is X plus Y? Ajay Kumar, right? Any valid Python statements you can type and you can check it, right, whether it's working or not. Okay, if you want to come out of this, say quit coming out of this. Okay, Python is successfully installed, right? Yes. Now just coming to this execution mode, right? Okay, and if anybody from Linux environment, right, if you want to execute Python, if you want to work with Python in Linux side, no need of any separate installation, right? In Linux, by default, Python comes as inbuilt, right, within this Linux OS. So just type Python on your terminal. Python is going to get open. So if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in Linux also, you can just go with this commands apt-get 3.9 or 3.10. You can select any version, right? apt-get install python-3.10. Here everything we are supposed to install from the root user, right? Otherwise just say sudo from the root user, right? That is what Python installation, right? How to download it and how to install Python, right? Fine. Python execution modes, different modes of Python execution. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution, right here. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. First one is what? Interactive mode. Second is what? Batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Batch mode, right? Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode, just now I discussed, right? Here we directly type Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, We directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement with Python statement by statement. What advantage you are going to see in interactive mode? Interactive mode advantage, right? To test the functionalities of Python. To test the functionalities, right? Functionalities. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python as a beginner, as a learner, right? If you doesn't know about any particular functionality, you can type and check here what output it is going to. Okay, as a beginner and for learner, this interactive mode works better. Batch mode, right? Here we write batch of statements. Observe here, interactive mode, we directly type Python statements and interact with it. But in batch mode, here we write batch of statements, a set of statements, right? Here we write batch of statements within the editors or IDEs, integrated development environments, right? We write batch of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension. Later submit to Python. What are the various editors? What are the various editors and what are the various IDs? I'm just going to discuss that. So I'll show you how to run the Python code within the editor, how to run within this IDs, everything. I'll be briefing you, right? Yes. So various editors within the notepad, you can write a Python, you can create a Python file within this notepad. Edit plus, within the edit plus also you can write this Python code and execute it. In the case of Linux, we go for VI and nano, right? VI and nano. Various editors, notepad, edit plus, VI, nano, right? Yes. So in the first two are for Windows environment, next two are for Linux environment. For writing this Python statements and saving it as .py, later submitting to Python, right? What are the various IDEs? Integrated development environment. Various IDEs, right? Various IDEs supported by Python. Okay. PyCharm is the mostly preferred one. PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans. Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook. Anaconda distributions, Anaconda prompt navigator, right? Atom IDE, VS Code IDE, right? VS Code. So I'll just show you how to run this, how to execute this, right? How to download this various IDs, how to execute on this various IDs, right? Yes, mostly used IDs. PyCharm is the mostly used IDE. PyCharm mostly used among all this. You may ask, we may get multiple queries, right? Why these many IDs? Why not one or two? Why these many? Why not one or two? Python is used for different environments, right? Python is used for different environments. So for data science, for big data, for Linux, for the gaming, right? So especially for data science, which one is preferred? Jupyter, Spider also. Okay. For typical web applications, PyCharm. For big data, Spider. So in this way, different environments uses different IDEs, right? Yes. So now developing a application, developing a Python application within a editor or IDE. The Python application within editor or IDE. First using editor, right? Python application within a editor. Example like notepad. Up to now we have not done with any bit of technical content, right? Open notepad and type the following Python statements and open the following Python statements, right? Yes. X is 10. I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations, right? Print x plus y, print x minus y, print x by y, x into y, x minus y, x into y, x by y, right? Yes. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, x by y, right? So I'll just copy this code to a separate notepad file, open notepad and type this following code, right? Yes. Just two variables and addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Just open notepad and just type this. Yes. So this is the notepad. File, save. File, save, right? Yes. Yesterday I was creating a separate folder, right? Python 7 p.m. folder. Python 7 p.m. batch, right? Yes. Sample1.py, right? Yes. Save as sample1.py. Save as sample1.py. And now submit this file to Python. Now submit this file to Python as, right? Python as. Submit this file to Python, right? Now just to go to this command prompt cmd, right? Yes. Go to this command prompt, type cmd and just say enter. Right. Just type Python and just use the path where your file is available, right? Now submitting this Python file to Python. Your file is available within the C drive, right? Slash Python 7 p.m. folder, right? 7 p.m. slash sample1.py, right? Yes, enter. See, x plus y, x minus y, x into y, x by y, right? Yes. Can you see this? 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. Okay, fine, right? So save it as sample1.py, submit this as, give the path, the file name in which folder, and what is the drive, which folder, and what is the file name, right? Yes. Fine. So this is the output, right? But here, what is okay? So open Notepad, just type some Python statements, right? Taking two values and performing arithmetic operations. Save it as sample1.py extension, and go to this command prompt, just type Python, and don't say enter. Give the path in C drive in so and so folder, so and so file, right? Submitting this Python file to Python, right? Okay. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place, right? Here we are writing the code at one place and executing the other place. We're writing the code at one place means within the notepad you are writing, right? Within the notepad. And executing at other place, right? Command prompt. But to write and execute, at the same place, we have IDLE, right? IDLE, integrated development environment, IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, We are writing the code at one place, notepad, and executing the other place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can work with both interactive and batch mode. Right? Yes. Which comes along with Python installation, using which we can work with both interactive and batch mode. To write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can work with both interactive and batch mode, right? Yes. Now, how to open this IDLE and how to write the code and execute the code within the same place, right? So here, what is the drawback we're observing? We are writing in the notepad, executing at the command prompt. But just open this IDLE, go to the start programs, right? See where your Python is available. 3.10, Python 3.10, multiple versions of Python can be installed, 3.9, 3.10, right? 3.10, you can click, you can see what is the first one, you see IDLE, right? Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? Yes. This the Python shell gets opened in interactive mode. You can interact here directly by writing some Python statements. Okay, 3 plus 4. So any valid Python statements you can type, but I want to work with batch mode, right? File, new file, new file, right? Okay. So here you can write this Python code x equal to 10, y equal to 5, print x plus 5, x minus 5, x into y, right? Yes. Any valid Python statements you can type x plus y, x minus y, print x into y, right? Yes. Control S, right? Yes. Test2.py, right? Yes. So just I written some taken two values and just x plus y, x minus y, x into y, right? Okay. Run module. Just check this. 10 plus y, 10 minus y, 10 into 5. Writing A itself and executing A itself. You are writing the code here. Here run option is there, right? Run module. You can just execute here itself, right? Writing the code and executing the code here itself, right? Fine. So just I was discussing, right? Well, Python software foundations, Python versions, Python installation, and Python execution modes, right? So later, once we are done with little bit of technical content, I will just go with IDEs. In real time, we use various IDEs, right? I'll be showing you in all that IDEs how to download, how to install, step-by-step process. Like I'll also show you in Anaconda distributions like Navigator and Anaconda Prompt, Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, PyCharm, right? All this. See that there is a message given by this DURGASOFT team, right? Online team. Okay, you can just see for demo link, right? That link is given, right? And course content link is given, right? Course content, demo link, demo videos, all that where they are available. You can just go through that, and also the payment process and procedures. If any concerns, right? If like they are given the contact details, so you can just make use of that contact details for the future reference, right? For any videos, if you're not got any video or any other, right? Fine. Okay. Any queries as part of today's session? Tomorrow I'll be just going with some basic technical content like data types, the other fundamentals of this Python. So any queries as part of today's session, right? Like Python software foundations, versions, installation, and execution modes. So I said I'll be discussing that IDEs later. And wherever we see in the next, wherever we see the installations, in some installations, you can parallelly install along with me, right? You can parallelly install like database installations or any other like IDs installations. I'll ask you to parallelly do along with me. If anybody facing problem, you will be sharing your screen to me, right? Okay, fine. Even if you go for that web applications creations also, if anybody facing any problem or error, the share screen option will be there where I can be able to see your screen in typical installations of this IDs or yeah, any queries? Anyone? Okay. So tomorrow also people can attend the session same time using the same link, right? Okay. So your installation is not working. So what it says, yours is Windows 10. Yeah, Bodhisattva, right? Yadav. What error you are getting? Can you please say what error it is saying while installing? Okay, 1 second, 1 second. If you want to share the screen, right? Just I'm now you can share the screen, right? If you want to share the screen, you can share the screen. At the bottom, green color icon, share screen option is there, right? Select it and select the first option, share, right? If you want to share the screen. Yeah, I've installed Python, right? Have installed Python. Go to your start programs. Just type ideally, that's enough. Ideally you type, yes, and say enter. Yes, click it. Python cell gets opened. In your search panel, ideally it's enough, right? If you type ideally, Python, it's open, right? Yes. Maximize the screen. Okay, file, new file. Otherwise, you can work with interactive mode here. Some value 4 plus 5 or 3 plus 4, you can type there. Enter. Yes, working, right? If you want to increase the font, go to that options. Configure ideally. Configure ideally. Size 10 is there. Make it some 60, 18. 18. Say okay. Apply okay. Okay. Increase, right? Yes. So it is working. 4 plus 5, 9, or any other valid statements. File, new file. File, new file. Say file. Click that file there. At the top left corner, file is there, right? File, new file. If you want to work with the batch mode, right? Print hello, you can say, right? Print hello. No. Print within double. Okay, within double quote, say hello. HELLO, right? Yes. Double quote. Save it. File save. Control S. Control S. Save it. Okay, save some sample.py. Right. .py. Yes. Enter. Save. Now run module. Okay. It prints hello, right? It's printing up. It's working, right? So anyone, if you are facing any problem, we will see it. So okay. Fine. So tomorrow also everyone, you can just join with the same timing with the same link, right, to see more on this Python. So I will stop here for today. Okay. Continue tomorrow, sir. Fine. Okay, fine. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.